Lamar now is available to seek out deals. But the strangest thing happened yesterday after the franchise tag was put on Lamar Jackson. All of a sudden, every team that was rumored to be in the mix for Lamar, or a potential landing spot for Lamar, or at least bare minimum, teams that would be in position to at least have a conversation with Lamar and potentially use the contract offered by said teams to leverage against the Ravens. All of a sudden, en masse, all those teams came out and said, we're not interested. When have you seen such a calculated, synchronized effort by teams in the NFL? I'll wait. Let me know in the comments, whether you're watching this live or on the replay. When have you seen such a concentrated effort synchronized? Because one after the other, as soon as the Lamar thing became official, first it was the Falcons and Arthur Blank, scared money. We're not interested. Then the Panthers, we're not interested. All these teams in a row, not interested, not interested. Then I came on here on the stream yesterday and said, well, hey, who has an axe to grind against the owners and who's also trying to get out? That's your man's Daniel Snyder. I thought he might use this time to have an axe to grind against the Shield, against the NFL, and say, you know what? Lamar, you don't got to drive that far down 95. Come on and pull up over here. And let's see if we can figure something out. 250, 300, it don't matter. I won't be on the hook for the bill, but I'm just trying to make sure I get Bezos for every penny I can. So it's a win-win. Lamar gets his bread, and low-key, he gets a way better offense than he would ever have at Baltimore. And he's able to get in bait, and Snyder is able to get his revenge because he wants $7 billion. And allegedly, he's only been offered in the neighborhood of 6 and change. So how can you get that $7 billion or maybe even $8 billion? By going to get the 2019 league MVP, going to get a guy that's, one of the more popular players in the league and more polarizing players in the league, a guy that's been on the cover of Madden. You could go get that guy. Offer him the fully guaranteed money. He gets what he wants. The Ravens get 2 first-round picks. You get to run to the bank on Bezos even more than you thought, and everyone's a winner. But even the Commanders last night, not necessarily lockstep with the rest of the league, but on their own time, announced that they're not going to pursue Lamar Jackson. And then we have the Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders. Mark Davis and the Raiders came out and said, you know what? We would be in on Lamar Jackson. And I said, oh, okay, here we go. We finally have a team that has a need at quarterback, a team that has weapons that Lamar doesn't have in Baltimore. Okay, now we have something. We can really get to build on this. Now, if Lamar can go to Vegas, big market, that Raiders jersey, that Lamar Raiders jersey would have been hitting. But here's the problem, and you have to remember certain things when it comes to certain franchises. The Las Vegas Raiders, much like the Los Angeles Lakers, are a family-run business. And to keep it a buck and to get right to the point, they don't got the bread. They don't got it. They don't have the money it would take to put in escrow to be able to give Lamar the type of contract that he genuinely feels he deserves, and the NFLPA is rightfully behind him, urging him to do so. They don't got it. They don't have it. And when you take a look at what's, available in terms of the way the contracts have been structured here and the way that it has been talked about a lot about who has fully guaranteed money and who doesn't, who deserves it and who doesn't, so on and so forth. There's been a lot of back and forth in regards to it, but I would love for us to take a look at together as a family at this chart. This right here will tell you all you pretty much need to know in regards to salary money, fully guaranteed money, funny money, so on and so forth. There's a lot of funny money here. And when you isolate certain things, you're looking at, because we finally got the numbers on Daniel Jones, and we'll get there. We'll get there. But let's go through what we have here in regards to Deshaun Watson, 230 total value. You can see that here. Let me see if I can I do a highlight on this? No, it's a picture. I don't know if I can highlight. Yeah, I can't highlight. Sorry for that. So you have Deshaun Watson here kind of in the middle, 230. And you see that it averages out to 46 mil a year. Again, Daniel Jones was asking for more than that. Okay, just let's never forget. Now, he didn't end up getting it, but that's the point. You ask for way more than you know you're going to get just in case you find a sucker, right? So Daniel Jones was able to get it off. I want $48 million a year. His agents went in there and had no problem asking for way over price. Lamar Jackson doesn't have an agent, allegedly asks for fully guaranteed money, or if you want to believe Fraud A. Smith, doesn't ask for guaranteed money, but whatever it is, it was a big number. It's problematic when he does it just because he doesn't have an agent. But Daniel Jones has an agent, and he went in there and asked for more money than Patrick Mahomes. Okay? If you're asking for 48 mil a year, you'll see here on the chart, only Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson average more money than that. So Daniel Jones was asking for more money than Patrick Mahomes, more money than Deshaun Watson, and more money than Kyler Murray. But because it has an agent, it's just business. But when Lamar does it, all you need an agent, you are costing yourself millions. Make it make sense. Anywho, so let's continue on. So we have this salary averaged out. Here's the column, the next to last column, the fully guaranteed column. That's the column that interests me the most because there's someone here that's also making guaranteed money that no one ever mentions in these conversations. Kirk Cousins, take a look down here towards the bottom, fifth from the bottom. And Kirk Cousins has been making guaranteed money he's coming into the last year of his deal. The last 3 years, he's been fully guaranteed. Kirk Cousins. Now, he was the last one that was in this Lamar type situation, but the Washington football team put him on the exclusive franchise tag and just rolled that out 2 more years. And then he went to the Vikings and got fully guaranteed money. So as much as the owners are up in arms over what the Browns did in terms of guaranteeing, I think the problem is that Deshaun's contract is so long, and that it's a 5-year deal, 5 years, 230. So that's the problem. Whereas Kirk Cousins got a 2-3-year deal at guaranteed money, and he's getting $35 million per year. And again, we are all on the same page that Kirk Cousins is definitely not a top 5 quarterback. And you can argue if he's top 10. It's debatable if he's even top 10. So this is a guy that's arguably not a top 10 quarterback, but he was able to get a fully guaranteed contract. You have Deshaun Watson, nasty man, who was coming off 1 million allegations of different types of harassment from masseuses, and he was able to get $230 million guaranteed. But Lamar Jackson, yes, coming off an injury, but still a former league MVP. All these teams are jumping out the window, racing to put out there to the press, to the blue check boys and girls, that they want no parts of Lamar Jackson. There's no interest in Lamar Jackson. Don't tell me that's about ability. When Kirk Cousins could go get guaranteed money, when Deshaun Watson can go get guaranteed money, when Daniel Jones can go ask to get more money than Patrick Mahomes, don't tell me, well, with Lamar, it's about how good he actually is. No, I refuse. I refuse to believe that. And if you believe that, if you're someone that, co-signs that type of rhetoric, then maybe you need to examine yourself. Seriously, because there's no real logic to that. There's no real evidence to that. Everything is to the contrary in that space. Everything. When you look at all of this money, the total guarantees and the total value is essentially funny money. Look at this contract for Josh Allen, 258 total value. Total guaranteed, 150. Fully guaranteed, 100. You go from 258 million. And if he falls down and goes boom and can never play again. We just had the conversation with Byron Jones of the Dolphins yesterday, how he's saying he can't run or jump, and he's not even 30. He's essentially done. He might have to retire. If Josh Allen, don't want to wish these things upon people, but he only gets 100 mil of that 258. Now, this total guaranteed, I'm assuming includes the signing bonus and things of that nature. So we're assuming that's already paid out. Get 50 mil at signing. So even 150 of 258, that's not, how is this ratio good? Explain that. For all the people who feel Lamar, and take it off Lamar, for all the people who feel that there should be no guaranteed contracts in the NFL, what's a legitimate reason why? I would love to know. Baseball got it, NBA got it, NHL got it. I would love to know why there's such a pushback for NFL players to get fully guaranteed money. Deshaun Watson got it. Kirk Cousins got it before him. What's the problem? Because you see Patrick Mahomes, total value is $450 million. The total guaranteed is $141 million. That's over $300 million of funny money. Do you understand what I'm saying? 450 mil in value. But if Mahomes high ankle sprain and he never recovers and he can't play again, he only gets 141 million of that. It just doesn't make sense, man. I wish the NFL Players Association was stronger. I really do. I wish they had a backbone. I wish there was a way that they could, grow a pair as a union, as a base. But when you're looking at the money here, all these contracts are bloated. Imagine if you had a job and, let's keep the median average. You're making 75 grand. You're being told you're going to get paid 75 grand. But for whatever reason, they let you go, you get laid off, you only get 50 grand of that. Or let's run that back. You make 75 grand. And you're signing thinking you're making 75 grand for this job. But then they have all these incentives. You got to be employee of the month. You got to be an exceptional employee. You got to go all these metrics that they make damn near impossible to hit. But your base pay is only 45 grand. You going to do that? You going to work that job? How you going to feel going back to wifey? Well, I get paid 75 a year, but it could be also 45. Like, wait, what? That's a huge gap. So which is it? Which number is it? Is it 45 or 75? That's what this is in the NFL. And yes, I understand it's millions and who cares? It's millionaires fighting billionaires. But I think oftentimes fans look at things from an executive point of view, like they're an owner. Is fantasy football run amok? Is franchise mode on Madden run amok? We're all closer to employees in this type of scope than we are to owners and front office executives. Yet and still, fans look at things from the Jerry Jones point of view. And I'm just like, well, why would you do that? You're closer to Dak than you are to Jerry Jones. Like, I don't know why you're looking at things like you could just cut people, get rid of people, cut his salary. Like, wait, what are you talking about? No. And speaking of Dak, Dak's trying to get an extension because Dak is essentially getting Daniel Jones money. Dak, per year is 40 mil a year, as you see here. 160 mil, 40 per year. Now Dak has more money total guaranteed. But again, if I see Daniel Jones even come close to my salary range, oh, we got to talk money. It's time to renegotiate. And that's what Dak is trying to do. Dak is trying to get some more bread about the Cowboys, because why wouldn't you? Once you see what Daniel Jones just got, you think Daniel Jones should get the same money as me? Are you kidding me? No. Steven, Jerry, yes, talk to my people, because that ain't going to fly. If I'm Dak Prescott, I never want Daniel Jones to think he is in my zip code in terms of bank account. No, never. As the QB of the Cowboys, that still carries cachet. As the QB of the Cowboys, I got to share a similar tax bracket with Daniel Jones, Vanilla Vic? Are you kidding me? No. So why can't the NFL owners understand that this is going to go away? This funny money structure, if the NFLPA can grow a pair, if the players can hold fast like Lamar is trying to do, now it's going to take him finding a team, though, because the Raiders don't got it. The Raiders do not have the money in escrow to be able to pay Lamar Jackson the fully guaranteed money he rightfully deserves. Who's going to step up? And that's why I think the Ravens so nonchalantly put him out there on a non-exclusive franchise tag. Go ahead and see if you can find a contract. Go ahead. Because, again, realize he's going to get paid less if he can't go find a contract. If he can't go find a partner to deal with so that the Ravens could get the 2 first-round picks, he's going to have to just come back and either accept the tag, but it's going to be at a significantly lower rate. What is it, 32.4? As opposed to, 45 mil? If he was to get the exclusive franchise tag and then there's no, negotiating with other teams. So the Ravens are like, okay, go ahead. Because when you come back, because we have colluded with other owners and told them, hey, no one else pay him fully guaranteed money because you'll mess it up for everybody else. The Browns, they're still mad about the Browns, right? So let's not, make this a bigger thing. Let's not make this don't take this from being an anomaly to a trend. If Lamar is able to find another team that will also pay him fully guaranteed money, now it's a trend. You can't just say, oh, the Browns were crazy. Jimmy Haslam and them, they was wowing. You can't just say that, because now you have another team that is pulling up and willing to pay fully guaranteed money to Lamar Jackson. So now that's 2 QBs and 3 if we throw in Kirk Cousins, which no one wants to seem to throw in there. There's already 2 QBs with fully guaranteed money. Kirk Cousins is out here getting all his bread. No one wants to talk about it. 1, because it's Kirk Cousins, and 2, it was a shorter term deal. But the bottom line is that the Vikings were not raked over the coals. The Vikings were not called idiots. The Vikings were not called stupid for giving Kirk Cousins fully guaranteed money. Now, Deshaun Watson, who was going to get fully guaranteed money from Arthur Blank and the Falcons before the Browns outbid them with more fully guaranteed money. So this is why all of this is just a thing of, why the outrage now? If you watch the Chris Rock special, selective outrage. Why the selective outrage when it comes to the Browns and potentially any team that tries to go in on Lamar Jackson? There was no outrage for Kirk Cousins. He got fully guaranteed money, and I didn't see not one debate show go crazy over it. There was no viral clips of how dare the Vikings give Kirk Cousins guaranteed money. None of that. But Deshaun Watson gets it. Now, I know there's layers there with all the cases and allegations, so I understand that piece to it. But the bottom line is he got it. They went crazy over that. Okay, cool. But now we have Lamar Jackson, league MVP. It's a problem when he wants fully guaranteed money. You gave it to Kirk Cousins. Pardon. You gave it to Kirk Cousins. What are we doing? Somebody got to tell me something. I firmly believe this is collusion. You don't go and have all those teams all in a row as soon as Lamar gets announced to have that franchise tag, all of them en masse, all of them collectively jump out the window and announce to either the blue check boys and girls or on their own social media platforms, we as a team have no interest in Lamar Jackson. When have we seen that type of collective force like that? Colin Kaepernick? Is this blackballing? Is it collusion? Are we finding new words? Make up whatever word you want to say it is, but when you have teams like the Panthers who have obvious QB needs, when you have the Falcons who have obvious QB needs, you want to tell me after 4 games they know what they have in Desmond Ridder? 4 games, they think they good? They were just ready to go get Deshaun Watson last year and give him all the guaranteed money. They saw Desmond Ridder for 4 games, and they're like, I'm good, love, enjoy. On Lamar Jackson? You want to believe that? And then we have the Washington Commanders who have Eric Bieniemy, who knows a thing or two about working with dual threat quarterbacks. But yet he's got Sam Howell and Heineke, and they're announcing they don't want no parts of Lamar Jackson when they write up 95 from him. Collusion. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll spin the block. But I know right now the Raiders don't got the bread. But the Raiders are the only team I've seen publicly. If you've seen another team publicly say we're not against going after Lamar Jackson, let me know in the comments. But as of right now, the Raiders are the only team I've seen. They're the only team I've seen. And let's move to the some of this contract information for Daniel Jones. And again, this is just funny money. Daniel Jones, 4-year, $160 million contract with the Giants includes $82 million fully guaranteed at signing, and another 12 that locks in March of 2024. So that's $94 million guaranteed, right? So in essence, and if you look at the practical here, they're telling you it's 3 years, $112.5 million. That math is not mathing. Let's go back to this chart. Okay, so 105 fully guaranteed is 82. Okay, so that is more aligned with that. 82 fully guaranteed, and then you got to wait till March of next year to get another 12. So you can't really count that 12 into the fully guaranteed, because if something happens between now and, February, what's next year's a leap year, 29th of 2024, he won't get that 12 million. So that's why 82 million. So 160 M's, 82 of which is fully guaranteed. That's a lot of funny money. That's 78 million in funny money. 78 million in funny money. That's like 49% of the contract. It's funny money. I don't understand. And I'm not alone in this collusion thing. Here's Richard Sherman, who is out here, part of that new media thing of former athletes, going out here and creating content. Let me blow this up for y'all. Is that too much? No, we good right there. Okay. This Lamar Jackson situation needs to get more attention. I mean, that's why we here. That's why we here, Rich. Teams would rather lose or employ worse players than pay a former MVP in his prime. Preach. Can you imagine Burrows, Joe Burrow, getting a non-exclusive tag and there being no interest? It's insane. Yes, it is. It quite actually is insane, or it's collusion. So like that's the only two ways about it. There's no other logical way to go about it, in my opinion. If you're really telling me that all these teams that have QB needs, there's tons of teams in this league. The Jets, if they lose out on Aaron Rodgers, what are the Jets going to do? You would really go back to Zach Wilson, then throw in 2 first-round picks at the Ravens and say, Lamar, come on through? If you really think you're an Aaron Rodgers away from competing in the AFC and maybe getting to a Lombardi, if you miss out on Aaron Rodgers, you wouldn't go get Lamar Jackson? You're just going to settle for Zach Wilson? Are you going to go get another retread QB like a Jimmy G? Is that really what you would do if you're the Jets? If you're willing to fly across the country to go meet up with A-Raj, if you're willing to do all of that, why wouldn't you be willing to throw 2 first-round picks at the Ravens and say, yo, Lamar, come on. Our window is right now. We have young talent on both sides of the ball right now. You put a 27-year-old prime former MVP back there, he's immediately the best quarterback in Jets franchise history. Immediately. So I'm having a hard time understanding why there's the narrative of, well, Lamar just might not be good enough. There are still people taking shots at how good of a quarterback he actually is. And while is he perfect? No. But, you know, I remember I had someone in the comments on one of the shorts that I put out there about Lamar, and they were telling me about his completion percentage and da-da-da. I was like, you know, his completion percentage is higher than Josh Allen's, and it's only 2% behind Mahomes, right? Crickets. Never heard from him again in the comments. I don't know what people just come at these narratives and say things and just they regurgitate what they hear on the 4-letter network. They regurgitate what they see elsewhere on the timeline, and they try to get it off like it's fact without actually doing the science. Like, do the work. Like, look it up. It's a Google away. Football Reference is your friend. Like, it's right there. But anywho, what do y'all think? Are teams colluding together to make sure Lamar doesn't get his bag? Is all of this a ploy just so Lamar has to run back to the Ravens, take the 32.4, and take his medicine?